Hey guys, thank you for watching this video again. So I'm ATSU and today I want to talk about the writing part of the IELTS examinations. But before that, I want to tell you that I'd like to separate this video into two parts. In the first part, I will talk about what sort of factors affect the writing score and also my experience about it. And in the second part, I want to talk about, the English, IELTS teachers, okay, especially who focus on writing part of the IELTS, okay. I got mentoring from two teachers when I was preparing for the IELTS examination. And what I was told by those teachers, well, were sort of different all the time and pretty much inconsistent. So I want to talk about them as well in the second part of this video, okay? So let me talk about writing. So I scored 6.0, okay, on my first try. Okay, I didn't really prepare for it, but when I got 6.0, I was like, oh shit, I was pretty much confident that I could at least get, for instance, like 7.0, 7.5, but I got only 6.0, and so I sort of realized that I would need some help, okay, from some IELTS teachers, okay. And on my second try, I could score 7.5, and on my third try, I got again, 7.5, and I used totally different methods on my second try and third try. So I want to talk about them as well in the second part. Probably all of you have already gotten some information about sort of criteria about the writing part. One of them is the task response, like how appropriately you are responding to the question in the writing part, okay. And the second thing is coherence, okay. So how coherent your writing is. And the third criterion is the grammar, right? And the fourth one is the vocabulary, okay. What I know about this, writing part is that this test is a test of accuracy, okay. This is not a show-off test, okay. So what I can say here is that you shouldn't really use academic words like many times during the writing part, okay, but you should just simply paraphrase a lot of vocabulary, okay. So this is in terms of the vocabulary. Well, I've taken a TOEFL examination and I scored 28 over 30, and in such a case, okay, I try to use an academic word like many times during the part, but well, the strategy totally differs in the IELTS examination because the writing part is a test of accuracy, okay, not a test of show-off, okay. So you should know that, okay, you don't really need to know a lot of types of academic vocabulary or difficult grammatical knowledge, okay. So as long as you can you can make grammatically correct sentences, paraphrasing vocabulary, even if those vocabulary are sort of easy, okay. But what's most difficult in the writing part is a task response, okay. So you have to really appropriately respond to the task, but that's pretty much subjective in my opinion. Because some examiners might think that, you are appropriately, responding to the question, your sort of answers are pretty persuasive, but other examiners might think that, your sort of opinions are not sufficient in order to support your idea or something like that. So I think it's pretty subjective. And what's really annoying here is that task response often affects your coherence. So if your task response is very weak, your coherence gets also weak. And thus, you can't really aim, you can't really aim at a high score like 8.0, 8.5, 9.0 without considering, the task response and thus coherence. Okay, so this is one of the most annoying parts of the writing part, and I definitely believe that this writing part is the hardest part of this examination. Okay, but if you are trying to get 7.0, in the writing part, well, I think you can do that without really thinking about the task response and the coherence, of this examination. because you can easily get 8 to 9 in grammar, okay, and vocabulary. And how you get the score of the writing is just, adding, 4 sections and then divide them, okay, by 4, okay. So what I mean by that is, so let's say you get 7, 7 in, the task response and coherence respectively, and 9 and 9 in grammar and, okay, in grammar and vocabulary, it would be 8, right? So, I can easily tell you that, well, it's pretty much possible to get 7.0, I guess. But, getting 7.0 in task response and coherence is often very difficult. So, I reckon, well, it's okay for you guys who are aiming at 7.0, but 8.0 would be a different story. So, that's what I can tell you, okay, about the writing part. And so, that's all about it. And, okay, let me go on to the next part.